Hi, good night everyone. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe, and I am live to take your immigration questions. So if you have a U.S. immigration question that you would like to ask, now is the time to do it. I am here to take your immigration questions right now, and it can be anything that's immigration related. So go ahead, put those questions in the comments. Or you can also use the Q&A option, especially if you've been asking your question and you notice that you're not getting a response. Then the Q&A option would probably be the best place to put it, so I can get notification that you have a question. So hi there. Do immigration check your social media? So absolutely they can. Right now, they do request your social media accounts when you're applying for a visa at the U.S. Embassy. And sometimes when you are coming into the United States, they will ask for your social media accounts to look at those. So absolutely, just be careful what you post on them. Make sure that they're appropriate and nothing that will get you into any issues. Thank you for that question. So keep your questions coming. I'm here to answer your U.S. immigration related questions. I want to formally introduce myself. So Onika, what about if you're married for green card purposes? So at the U.S. Embassy level, they do ask for your social media accounts when you're submitting that immigrant visa application. So yes, they can definitely check it out because they are going to ask for your social media accounts. And of course, it is in your best interest not to hide any social media accounts that you have, because then that could spell problems for you in regards to the immigration as well. So just make sure that when you do have your social media accounts, that you do make sure that it is appropriate and there's nothing on there that will get you into trouble. If I have a PIP, do I still go to an interview with my spouse? So Indy, I just want to make sure, what is PIP? Can you go ahead and put that in so I can make sure I'm answering your question correctly? Onika, you're welcome. So keep your questions coming because I am here to answer your immigration questions. I am U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I help clients to get their green cards and status in the United States by any legal means necessary. And so parole in place. Okay, so yes, so if you have the parole in place, and yes, so the parole in place is different from the interview process. And so you are going to be required to attend an adjustment of status interview, even though if you are granted parole in place, even though you have it, remember there are two different processes. So you will need to still go to that interview. However, keep in mind that the evidence that was provided in the parole in place to show that your spouse, your military spouse, that the marriage is real, that is bona fide, that can still be helpful. You could use that evidence in your adjustment of status process as well. Keep your questions coming because I am here to answer your immigration questions. So far, these have all been great questions. Hi there, Jade. It's nice to see you. Thanks for saying hi. So I'm here to answer your questions. So go ahead and put those questions in the comments. I help clients to get their green cards and status in the United States. Why not start with a question here? A question here can help you to determine how you want to move forward. Hi there, Indy by the Sea. Thank you so much. And your question here and your comment, your compliment will definitely keep me going. So thank you for that. I do like to keep my posts entertaining, even though entertaining as well as informative. So I will keep those coming. If someone's done biometrics on asylum case, did he need to do a biometrics again on the 485? So Jay, what I am seeing right now, usually they would require it, but because there's a severe backlog, what they are doing is they are waiving the biometrics and using your old fingerprint. So For many of my clients, if they already have fingerprints on file, I'm getting notices saying, we are not going to call you in for a fingerprinting appointment. We're going to go ahead and use those fingerprints to, to use for the background check as well as for the work permit. So that may happen in your case. If you applied for asylum, you have a fingerprinting, you have fingerprints on file already, and now you're applying for adjustment of status. Hello, my question is, okay, so Keisha, I'm waiting for your question. Fingerprint fee was received. What does that mean? So usually when you do submit your application, so you do have to submit the biometrics fee. So that's what's called the fingerprinting fee. And while they waive the actual fingerprinting appointment, the biometrics appointment, they're not waiving the fee itself. So they still keep the fee. And so if you received notice saying they received the fee for the biometrics, that's what it means. We have had interview in 2018, but still no answer for green card. What should we do? So TCW, there may be an underlying issue. Sometimes they do hold cases in further administrative review. Sometimes they hold it for further review for some reason. And so it really depends on what the facts are in your case. How did the interview go down? Did you have to supply additional evidence? Is there something that's still pending? In this case, because there are so many questions, I would definitely need to speak with you in a consultation to be able to advise further. And here I see you said, we have waited 120 days twice already, yet they still haven't responded. And sometimes that is because they are reviewing something, there is some underlying issue. In cases where it is taking extremely long, there are ways to see, to try to figure out what the issue is. One is to get your congressperson involved. So it's like a congressional intervention of a congressional member. Sometimes they can get more answers out of you. Sometimes it is getting the ombudsman involved, the USCIS ombudsman involved in the process. And it all depends on what is the average processing time at the service center that is taking this long. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to give you an answer, but what I can say is if you would like assistance, you can definitely schedule a consultation and then I can evaluate your case more. What is the advanced parole? What does advanced parole mean and how long does it take? So advanced parole is permission to travel outside of the United States and then come back into the country. So basically you get a travel document that allows you to do that. Okay, thank you. I would love to. How can I reach you? So TCW, you can call 561-405-4889 to schedule a consultation. What's going to happen is when you call that number, if you call that number right now, you'll get an after hours receptionist who will take your information and then pass it on to a scheduling coordinator who will schedule the appointment, get you on the calendar, confirm the appointment. If you call tomorrow between 9:30 and 11 p.m., you will get a scheduling coordinator who can put you on the schedule. So you can also go to the link in my bio where you can see all the contact information. You can also complete a contact form. Can you apply for citizenship after your green card of 10 years is expired? So Cheryl, I'm glad you asked that question. That is a common question, and the answer is yes, you can. Because while the card itself is expired, your permanent residence is not. Now, you are required to still carry around your green card because that is the way, that is your physical evidence of permanent residence. And there's actually a law that requires you to make sure that you have your green card with you at all times. However, if it is expired, it doesn't mean that you're no longer a permanent resident, and so you would still be able to apply for citizenship. If you're ready to apply for citizenship, that is something I help clients with, and now is a good time to do this. It's an excellent time to apply for U.S. citizenship. So you can call me at 561-405-4889, or you can go to the link in my bio. It will take you to the website. You also awesome for me, Mama. You always give me satisfied answer. Jay, I am so happy that I'm able to help you out here and I'm able to be informative. So Shalamar, I am in Boca Raton, Florida. But keep in mind, as a U.S. immigration attorney, it is a federal practice. That means I do practice all over the country. My clients are all over the country: Texas, Ohio, Maryland, New York, here in Florida, of course. I do have an office where my clients who are close by can meet me in person, but I also work with my clients who are out of state and in Jamaica and in the Caribbean and in all over the world. So I'm not limited by borders or state lines. Can you take him? Absolutely, Cheryl Adams. I can take cases all over the country. With immigration applications, they are filed all over the country. So you may not necessarily file an immigration case within your state. And so that is why it's a federal practice, because I do have to work with immigration offices all over the country. If you was deported over 12 years ago, how possible is it for you to return? It depends on what the circumstances were, the facts behind the deportation. So it's a little more complicated than just telling you how possible it is without knowing why. Cheryl Adams, I'm glad that you're pleased with that answer. Hi there, South American dude. It's nice to see you. I hope you've been doing well. So keep your questions coming because I'm here to answer your questions. Now, I've gotten multiple questions about how to get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me first by going to the link in my bio. You can also check the link in my bio is going to take you to the website where you'll see the phone number. You'll see a contact form that you can complete. You can see an online, right now the online chat is not open, but there is an offline chat messenger that you can complete, as well as the phone number. My phone lines are open 24/7. After hours, which is after 11 p.m., there's going to be an after hours receptionist who will be answering. And business hours is Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. I'm in Guyana. I have applied for visitors visas and failed. When can I reapply? So there is no limitation on when you can apply for a visitor's visa. You can apply right after you're denied, but what you need to make sure you do is come with evidence that will help change the results, to change the officer's mind on the rejection and then approve you. Kudos to you. Not many immigration attorneys be so opened up at no cost. Keep it up. God's blessing. Thank you so much, Cheryl Adams. That is why I'm here. I'm here to answer questions and help you along the way to guide you further. I have a green card. If I marry someone illegal, can he apply for a green card? So Marie, yes. So the short answer is yes, but I do have to elaborate here, because if you're a green card holder and you marry somebody who's undocumented in the United States, they will not be able to adjust status in the United States. They will need to go back to their home country to complete the green card process. There is a waiver process, because what happens is if they leave the country, what will happen is that they will face a 10-year bar, meaning they will not be able to get a green card nor a visa to come back to the United States. So before leaving to finish the green card process, they have to wait in the U.S., apply for a waiver, and if it's approved, when the interview date comes, they can go to the interview without facing the penalty of that 10-year bar. So Jesse Exquisite, I emailed but no reply. So Jesse, usually with the, I don't know which email you sent it to, but the best ways to contact us is through if you go to the link in my bio, you will see the web form. There's a contact form. If you feel more comfortable doing that, submitting your information so a scheduling coordinator can get back to you. If you can also call directly, and there will always be someone answering the phone who will take your information. A scheduling coordinator will get back to you on that. And then if you go to the contact us page, I don't know if you use that email, but if you did use that email that's on the contact form, you should have received a reply, and I'll make sure to have the scheduling coordinator check up on that to see. But if you would like to go ahead and resubmit your information so that we can get in touch with you, that would be great. So explorers, can an aggravated felon be returned to the States? Drugs care over 15 years ago, how possible is it? So usually there's no waiver for an aggravated felony. However, keep in mind that there are non-immigrant waivers where if that means you would have to, have a reason to come to the United States temporarily. And it's called the D3 waiver, or the, so in that case, that may be, but it's usually not possible to get a green card. Can I apply for my citizenship although I'm waiting on my 10-year residency? Absolutely. All about Nick. Yes, you can. And if you would like to go ahead and do that, you're always free to schedule a consultation to talk about that. My best friend came when he was 16. He's almost 50. What steps can he do to get citizenship? So SM, I don't know what his current status is. Now, Jesse Exquisite, if you got an automatic response, it's usually the automatic response that will tell you what to do. So usually if you get the automatic response, it's telling you that you should call to schedule a consultation. We don't give legal advice by email. You must schedule a consultation. So that is what happened there, is that usually you get this response saying, please call 561-405-4889 to schedule a consultation, because that's the only way we can help, because we don't provide legal advice by email. All right. So my best friend came when he was 16. So is he a permanent resident? Did his parents become citizens before he turned 18? So SM 04-1980, that is what, there are many different factors that I would have to know before I can provide any advice. But the first thing is that he must either be able to derive citizenship from his parents, because he was 16 at the time when he came, or he must be a green card holder to be able to become a citizen. So keep those questions coming. I'm here to answer your immigration questions. So keep those questions coming. Now, another thing so SM 04-1980, it's so important for him to get legal advice because he's been here so long that there may be options for him, but it just depends on what his circumstances are, who his relatives are, when did he come, how long has he been here, and so forth. How did he get here? So keep your questions coming. I'm here to answer your questions. So go ahead and put your questions in the comments. So I see vaguely maniacal, or apply for a work visa. I don't see the rest of your question. I'm sorry. Can you go ahead and retype your question, vaguely maniacal? What happens if you stay out of the U.S. more than 3 years, green card holder? So after a year of being outside of the United States as a green card holder without permission, without a re-entry permit, it is presumed that you have abandoned your green card. And so there are ways to come back to the United States with what's called an SB1 visa, or it's also called a returning resident immigrant visa. However, you have to show you have to meet certain requirements, such as you didn't intend to leave the United States for over a year. That may be circumstances beyond your control caused this to happen. And in addition, that you continue to maintain your ties in the United States even though you were away for so long. And then what that visa will allow you to do is travel back to the United States and then get your go through the permanent residence process to get your permanent residence again. Would due to COVID be a good reason? It could possibly be. It just depends on what happened. Were the borders closed? Did relatives get sick? Did you get sick? So it all depends. This is very case specific, and it all depends. But if you would like assistance with this, Cheryl, or somebody needs assistance with this, definitely give me a call. You know where to find me. My phone number is all over my videos, and you can also go to the link in my bio. You're welcome, Cheryl. How is the NVC process going these days? So it just depends on where you're talking about, what type of process you're talking about. The NVC has been going all right for me with some cases, but it just depends on which embassy you're talking about and which immigration process you're talking about. So keep those questions coming. Moni, Rachel, I didn't see your question either. Okay. Oh, I'm a filmmaker and would love to migrate. Advice. So, this is a very loaded question just because it depends on what, where are you in your career? What are your goals? Do you have any prospective projects or employers? That would really guide my advice. So what I would advise you to do is definitely give me a call, schedule a consultation, and we can talk more about the details of your, what kind of film, what are your goals? Do you have any investors? Do you have any projects right now that will, are scheduled in the United States and so forth? So a professional program I want to apply for, I have a restricted SSN. Can it be changed, or can I apply for a work visa? So there are ways to change from one status to the next, but it depends on what status you currently have and what you'd like to go to and whether you qualify for that. Which states do you practice in? So I am permitted in Minnesota and Florida. However, I can practice in all 50 states. I can practice U.S. immigration law because it is a federal practice. So I can represent clients in all 50 states before the USCIS, before the immigration court, when we are dealing with immigration issues. Can someone remain in the U.S. if he was brought in undocumented as a child and now old enough to apply? So there is what's called DACA, which is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, but it all depends on when they came in, what age are they, whether they can show continuous presence and so forth. If this is the case, definitely have them call to schedule a consultation to see if they qualify for DACA right now. I have someone who would employ me, but the problem is the migration. And, if you have someone to employ you, then definitely it is worth looking into what your options are, especially when it's always important for you to know what your options are, but the person who wants to employ you will also need to see what their options are, because chances are they will also be the ones that they have to submit paperwork on your behalf or paperwork to you to prove that they're working with you or they'd like to hire you. If you got deported on visiting visa, can you come back to the U.S. after 15 years? It depends, Tamika, on what the reason for the deportation. In some cases, you may be able to, but it all depends. You're welcome, vaguely maniacal. So I'm a little young, 28. Okay. So Moni, I think this is Rachel or Raquel. Go ahead, call, schedule a consultation, and then we can talk more about your age. Shouldn't have anything to do with it. You are at an age where you can definitely get immigration benefits, and it doesn't, and get okay, so Tamika Low, aggravated felony. In the case of aggravated felony, there is no waiver. So you are barred from the United States. Now, there are ways to come back to the United States, not with a green card, but with rather with a non-immigrant visa, if you can get the offense or the violation waived. So you'd still have to apply for a waiver. My mom filed for my stepbrother in Jamaica and they canceled his appointment due to COVID. What should he do? So he'll just probably have to wait for another appointment. Now, if there is an emergency, if there's something going on that he needs an appointment sooner, then there are ways to request that the appointment come through sooner. It's not guaranteed to be approved, but you definitely can submit that request, and so that may be an option if there is some sort of emergency. Great questions so far. Keep your questions coming. I am here to answer your immigration questions. So can I apply for the waiver through your form? And Tamika, that's where the consultation would come in, is I provide you advice about what your prospects are, whether you qualify, and that helps me to determine whether I can assist you. Now, generally speaking, I do waivers, and so if you do qualify for it, I can definitely help you with it. But I would need to first determine whether you qualify by speaking with you in a consultation. Can I use an expired passport to do my filing? So Queen just said it depends on what type of filing you're doing. So I wouldn't be able to answer that question unless I know. Now, generally, for example, with the adjustment of status cases, you can submit your expired passport, but at the point that you are getting your green card or your immigration benefit stamped in your passport and you're traveling, you need to have a passport that has at least 6 months validity. How long should he wait? Because it's been over a year since the appointment. So there is no set time to wait. Unfortunately, it is backlogged. What he can do is just check on his case, make sure that there's nothing on his side that's sometimes they wait for documents to come in you may not know about. So make sure that he contacts, if it's the National Visa Center, contact the National Visa Center to make sure that nothing is pending. For example, the police certificate. So if the police certificate, it only lasts a year. And so when you're waiting for a new interview, you still do have to submit the new police certificate, the updated police certificate. So make sure that there's nothing pending on his end that's holding up an interview. Different country might charge a lot to call. So Moni Rich, I didn't see the other part of your question. I'm sorry. So there's also, now if you're talking about how to call the firm, then what you can do is provide your information. Go to the online form and you can complete your information on the form. So it's free to do. You put your name, your number, your email, and then the scheduling coordinator will get in touch with you. I do Zoom and GoToMeetings, video meetings for those who are outside of the country, to lower, any kind of long distance bills. So there are still ways to get in touch. So Moni Rachel, do it that way. Keep your questions coming. I'm here to answer your immigration questions. And so why not go ahead, take advantage of a U.S. immigration attorney being here to answer your immigration questions. Hi there, Elko. It's nice to see you. So I'm not seeing any more questions coming in, so I'm going to call it a night. But as usual, I'll be back tomorrow. So if you are not, how can I file for my kids to come here? So Elko, if you're a green card holder or you are a U.S. citizen, then you would be able to do that. You would just have to first make sure you qualify as a green card holder or a U.S. citizen, and then you will need to submit the relevant forms. And you can always schedule a consultation to talk about the specific process that you would. So Elko, go ahead and give me a call, schedule a consultation, and let's talk about the specific process you need to go through. Because it all depends on what's going on in your case. Where are the kids? What are their ages? and so forth. How many chance they give you to do citizenship tests if you don't pass the first one? So they give you 2 chances, and if you don't pass it, then you they deny it, and then you have to do it again. How long after you get your I-693 notice you get an interview date? So I'm not sure. It depends on the service center. What you can do is go ahead and look up where the service center is, and then look at their timeline, because it all depends on the different service centers where you'll be doing your interview. Can your citizenship be taken away from you? So yes, so data's food craves, yes, you can be what's called, I believe, denaturalized if they found that you obtained citizenship wrongfully, erroneously, or if there was fraud involved while getting the permanent residence. Now, if you got your naturalization and then say you got arrested for a completely different offense afterwards, then say it's a deportable offense, then in that case, they wouldn't take away your citizenship. So you know, if you're worried about something that happened after you became a citizen, then you shouldn't have to worry. However, if they do find that you obtained your citizenship wrongfully, erroneously, or by fraud or misrepresentation means an omission or a lie on your application, then that can definitely jeopardize your citizenship. So I am going to call it a night. Thank you everyone for asking such great questions. I'm here every night. So this is not the end of it. You will see me again. What you can do is save your questions. And as soon as you see me, save your questions, follow me so you can get notice when I'm live. And as soon as I go live, hop on with me, and don't hesitate to put those questions in the comments so that I can just start answering your questions right away. If you want to schedule a consultation with me about your particular information, because all the information I gave you here is general information, then go ahead, go to the link in my bio where it'll take you to the website. You can complete a contact form. You can call the number, which is open 24/7, or you can, there's also an offline chat, messenger chat, that you can do as well. You can you take advantage of all those ways to get in touch. A scheduling coordinator will get back in touch with you on the next business day to schedule your consultation, and then you can get that legal advice as soon as we start talking. So Padanos Creations, go ahead and just follow me, and then as soon as you see me go live tomorrow or any other day, just hop on and start asking your questions. I'm sorry you got here late. If I stay in NY with my visa and get married to a citizen, let's see. I just saw one. If I stay in NY with my visa and get married to a citizen. So I'm going to give you this general information that spouses of U.S. citizens who came in with a visa, even if they overstayed, can successfully complete the process as long as you didn't, come into the country through misrepresentation or fraud or anything like that. That you came in, your circumstances changed, you got married to a citizen, and that is it's very common, and that can definitely you can definitely get the green card that way. If I overstayed my student visa due to COVID, can I still get a tourist visa? That may be possible. Sometimes when you're in the United States, you can go from one status to the next, but you have to do it fast because this can take months to do. So, and you have to do it before you fall out of status, not afterwards. So that's another thing. Thank you, everyone. Check out the link in my bio if you want to learn more, you want to schedule a consultation or get in touch. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.